Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new box office breakdown show. Today, we're talking about the July 4th weekend, the July 3rd to the July 2nd to the July 4th. Before we start getting with my video breaking down the box office, the top five of the weekend, also the top domestically of the year so far, and looking forward to this upcoming week. Please consider the like, guys. Hit the like button. That's the best way to hit that button. Please smash it. That's the best way to support the channel. It gets the algorithm up so more people can check out this content. Also, please comment down below your thoughts on the box office. Tell me what movies did you see in theaters this weekend, and tell me next my predictions down low in the comment section. What are your predictions for next weekend's box office, which we'll talk about at the end of this video. Also, please subscribe and ring the bell if you're new to the channel. I'll do movie reviews, TV show reviews, this show every single Monday, movie rankings, and many, many more. So please consider subscribing, ringing that bell. Let's get started. So once again, guys, for the second consecutive week, F9, The Fast Saga, comes in at number one. This week, it racks up $22.86 million at the box office, which is a 67.4% decrease at the box office. That is the biggest decrease in box office in the top 10 this week. It is in the second week. It now takes its total gross to $115.9 million. But F9, it is a pretty big drop. Now, Universal, I'll talk about Universal in a sec, but still a pretty big dip. It made 70 million opening weekend. First of all, the word of mouth was not that great about the film. A lot of people say this is one of the weaker Fast and Furious films. And when it was playing, it feels like everyone who wanted to see it did see it on opening weekend. But still, it's still making good money at the box office for the pandemic. $22 million for a second weekend is really good these days. So Fast will take it. We'll talk about Fast in a little bit as well. Coming in second place is the one of the two new releases of the week that are in our top five. That is the Boss Baby 2 Family Business. That comes in second place of $16 million in its opening weekend. This film was also available on Peacock. So it was in theaters and it was on Peacock with no extra cost. But it seems like that did not affect it from doing really well at the box office, making $16 million. Coming in third place, making $12.48 million is the Forever Purge, the fifth film in the Purge franchise, making $12.4 million. And the reason why that these three films are so significant for being in the top three at the box was that these are all three Universal films. The fact that we always talk about Warner Brothers and Disney and A24 and all these different, and Paramount, all these different companies, Universal swooped in with two new releases this week. And if you also look at the top three, you have F9 from Universal, The Boss Baby from Universal, and Forever Purge, three really completely different audiences. You have the F9, which is really the general audience, the general movie-going audience. You have The Boss Baby, which is for families, and then you have Forever Purge for horror fans. So the diversity, the variety of films that Universal put out this weekend, and obviously with F9 last weekend, shows you how really great of a company they are. And this week, really, they get to show off with their three movies at the top three movies of the weekend, which is very good news. And The Purge still making money. Again, this was announced to be the last Purge film, but we'll see if this was enough to possibly keep the franchise going. Coming in fourth place, it just can't stay out of the top five. A Quiet Place Part 2, $4 million this weekend, which is a 34% drop from last week. It is in its sixth week of release and has never left the top five. It's been number one, I believe, three of those times. Its total box office is $141.12 million. So A Quiet Place is so far the most successful movie of 2021. We'll see if F9 gets to pass them in total box office, but they've been consistently in the top five. Again, once its 45 days are up in theaters, it goes exclusively to Paramount Plus with no extra cost. And then coming in fifth place, shockingly, I didn't know this would stay in the top five for this long, and that is The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, making $3.06 million, which is a 38% drop. It is in its third weekend. Its total now goes up to $31.3 million. Also, if we want to take a look at the total domestic box office of the year so far, A Quiet Place Part 2 is still number one, as I said, with $144 million total at the box office. But the big news this weekend was, not shockingly, that F9 in its second weekend has already crossed the $100 million mark of the year. Again, F9, the third movie in 2021 to hit the century mark. A Quiet Place is sitting at 144, Fast 9 sitting at 115, and in third place, just at the 100 mark, is Godzilla versus Kong. So again, two important things about that. The top two of those three movies, Quiet Place and F9, are all theaters exclusive movies. So that's a really good sign for theaters, which is a pretty big deal. And we'll see if F9 will be able to catch up to A Quiet Place. Cruella is the only one that is the next one that's not $100 million. That is sitting at 76. Probably will not be able to reach that mark domestically. Definitely not, but still a good effort. And The Conjuring is in fifth place with 67. So again, those are the rankings of the domestic box office. A Quiet Place still at the top. We're going to keep track of this domestic box office for the entire year, every single week. Can F9 catch it? And also the big movie of the weekend. Actually, let's keep F9 here. It's really their weekend. Black Widow releases this upcoming week. That's the big new movie of the week. It's releasing this upcoming Friday, both in theaters and on Disney Plus with a $30 premiere access. This is really the real test for this Disney Plus in theater bundle. It's been tried on obviously before. Just as we said, Cruella did very well, Raya and the Last Dragon. But this is a Marvel movie, the first Marvel movie to come out in theaters since Spider-Man Far From Home in the summer of 2019, which is already 2 years ago. So this is going to be a very big deal. One of the most fascinating box office movies of the entire summer and maybe even of the entire year. A real test to see where the box office is. The question is, could it be F9? F9 still holds with the best opening of the year of the pandemic, making $70 million. Again, could it even reach 100 million on its opening weekend? Not really sure. I'm going to see this movie on Thursday night. I cannot wait to talk about it. So that's my box office breakdown of the week. Next week, we're going to break down, did Black Widow underperform, overperform? Did it do well or not? I can't wait to talk about it with you guys next week. Also, guys, I'll let you know my upcoming reviews coming up. My Loki review, spoiler review of the brand new episode, that will drop on Wednesday. Also, Fear Street Part 2 in 1974. That will also be up this weekend. My Black Widow non-spoiler review will be up this weekend. My Bad Batch spoiler review will be up this weekend. So a lot of stuff is coming out here on the channel. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, ringing that bell for notifications. If you want to just come back for next week, you can find out all my movie reviews right to my playlist to my right. Also, please consider subscribing. Let's get to 100 subscribers. See you guys.